Okay. Well, it's been a long time. We haven't done a video in a long, long time, mostly because they're a pain in the ass and YouTube generally pulls them down. Mostly we haven't had any time because, let me borrow this for a second, is because we had that. That's the Spud that you may have heard about. Say hello, Spud. Yes, well done. Okay, I'll turn the camera. Totally not interested, much like our viewers. But somehow a pile of you subscribed. For some reason, my breakfast casserole video has like 20,000 hits, so we decided we were going to do a new video of one of the wife's favorite recipes. We're going to do Vindaloo. Is it accurate to real, like, genuine Vindaloo? The Spud says no. I don't know, but we're going to make it. So I'm going to do pork Vindaloo. Obviously, if you did beef Vindaloo, that would not be authentic because of beef. So we're going to start here, big cast iron Dutch oven. You're going to need the space. I started off with 3/4 of a cup of vegetable oil. That's already hot. I've got 8 cloves of minced garlic. That's going in. Yes, maintain a safe distance for splattering. We don't want deep fried baby. Okay. So, I'll get the rest of that garlic in there. So what's going to happen is the garlic is going to cook in there, and then we have, over here, 3 red onions, thinly sliced. Now, a lot of the recipes instruct you to blend the onion up. I don't have time for that shit. So, in it goes. And this is going to cook for about, I don't know, 5-7 minutes. So I'm going to set the timer. You're going to stir it a whole bunch. And we're going to step away. And when we come back, we will move on to the next step.
Okay.
Okay. We've done 5 to 7 minutes of cooking the onions. They're soft. They look good. I got about 2 pounds of pork. And just going to put it in. And you're not going to be able to brown it. I'm crowding the pan. The meat's not going to brown the way it should. And in the end, nobody cares because it's going to be covered in sauce. So this goes in here. This is going to cook. It's probably going to be about 10 minutes. You're just going to go until the meat is pretty much cooked through. Or at least the pink is no longer visible. Because with pork, obviously, you'd rather not give everyone the collywobbles or trichinosis of the liver or any of those exciting maladies of the gut. So I'm going to cook this for a while, and then we will come back to the big important steps of adding the Vindaloo paste, which you'll learn about shortly. So give me a few minutes. Hi there. It's been like 10 minutes. Pardon me. So there you go. Everything looks good. Next step is it's all a simmer. Please step back. You're going to want to take the rest. Jesus Christ.
No, Jesus Christ does not go in this recipe. I told you to open that before we started.
Alright. Hang on. We're having a... As seen on TV. Here we go. Shit. So it works. That's the sound of freshly canned tomatoes, so I know I'm not going to poison my family. There we go. So it calls for about a pound of tomatoes with juice, so I've got a quart of home canned tomatoes. It's got some garlic and basil in it, not a big deal, whatever. I mean, it's not going to do any damage. Extra garlic, basil's not really Indian for cooking as far as I know, unless there's some sort of Indian basil. But you stir that in. You get some tomatoes in there, you got some juice. We do 3 tablespoons of tomato paste. So there's 1, There's 2. And there's 3. There's a baby gnawing on our Christmas pacifier. So we've got that. Now the key to Vindaloo is the Vindaloo paste. The Vindaloo paste is a boatload of seasoning. That is a technical term used by we cookie types. So here's what it looks like, which looks like something we scraped out of the baby's diaper.
Ooh.
But if you come
Do you
over,
recognize that?
here's what's in it. Cayenne, cinnamon, cumin, we'll get back to that in a second, turmeric, mustard, ground mustard powder, and coriander, which we do ourselves. Garam masala. You could buy the McCormick stuff at the grocery store. If you can find a world market, we've got an Indian grocery in town. This stuff is imported right from the UK where they know Indian food. That stuff's fantastic, and it's really not much more than, well, that container I think was $3-4, and if you wanted to buy,
A cat?
you would get like maybe this much for $6 if you went and bought a McCormick's one, if you could even find it half the time. So, well, the wife watches the cat. I'm putting in the Vindaloo paste. Also, what's in the Vindaloo paste is sugar and the secret ingredient of malt vinegar. There's a few tablespoons of malt vinegar. I'll put a link down at somewhere in the video or down at the bottom where you can see the actual recipe. So, you stir everything up. This stuff looks god-awful. And every time I make it, I keep thinking I did something wrong because it looks so bad. And again, optionally, you could have blended up those onions first if you wanted to. But what you're going to do is you're going to bring this up to simmer. To boil, simmer, let me look. I can't remember anything. Bring it to the boil. Once it's boiling, bring it to the simmer and simmer it for about an hour. If it starts to get too thin, if it starts to evaporate too much, put in a little water, like a half cup or so. But I'm going to bring it up to the boil and then stir it occasionally, and then in an hour we will come back and see the end result. But really, that's it. Oh, it's not it. I almost missed a couple important things. Normally it calls for you to dice up jalapenos or other peppers in there. The wife's not the best for hot, so I'm just going to put in...
Your head's in the way. Yeah.
I'm going to put in some extra cayenne, which it's not as much coming out as you think it is. It's all trickery. And then, here's the piece de resistance, as it were. We have dried ghost peppers. So usually one big, two smaller. I just chuck them in there and just let it dissolve over the course of the cooking. It's kind of like Russian roulette because at some point, and I've had it happen, I was eating lunch and accidentally swallowed an entire unbroken up ghost pepper, and it's pretty exciting. Just remember, whatever goes in has to come back out again. So that's it. It's coming up to the boil. I'm going to put it down to the simmer, and we'll check back in an hour for the finished product.
All right.
Okay, it's been an hour, and here we have it. It is cooked down. It has thickened up. And what we have here is theoretically completed vindaloo. A little basmati rice. If you don't have basmati, just white rice is fine. There's the wife's. It's always good. Make sure there's plenty of liquid in there. So you just serve it over the top. You want to have some sort of flatbread with it. I make naan. I guess I could put the... it's not really like flatbread naan, but it's a recipe I found that I use fairly regularly. It's delicious. I'll put that somewhere down at the bottom as well. And then last but not least, let's see if we got forks out.
What? Sorry, that was a binky.
Did you just put a binky in front
She
of
did.
it?
She just threw the binky out there.
There's a binky out there. She says, check out this binky, guys. your Vindaloo has nothing on it. So here it is, the taste test. Again, it's not going to be super hot because I didn't put a whole lot in it. If in a pinch you can't put stuff in it because the people you live with are a bunch of Nancys and Pennywaises. Right there. That is Carolina Reaper sauce. You can just throw a couple drops of that in and that'll pucker your sphincter in a hurry. So here it is, the taste test. Turn the heat off. Got pork, got onion. I'll take. I agree, little spud. It's delicious as always. There's not enough heat for my liking, but I'm going to throw some Reaper sauce on it. Like I said, if you want to ramp this up, chop up a couple jalapenos in there, throw in an extra ghost pepper, chuck in extra cayenne powder, I mean, whatever you want. There's all sorts of ways to heat it up and make things happy for yourself. So I'm going to throw a few shakes in here. That's probably irresponsible, and I will probably punish everyone later this evening on the toilet. So that's all there is to it. This is Vindaloo for me and you. That's it's definitely a winner. I make it all the time. We love this stuff. Hopefully you like it too. If not, whatever, bite me. Just eat something else then. There you go. Good times.